In her book, Daring Greatly, Brené Brown says, it's not so much about all the frills, but it's about your attitude to lean in and to get into the daily fight. Now, when I say daily fight, I don't mean that every day needs to be a fight. But what I know is each and every day has some challenges and some frustrations and has some thing that holds us back. I know that of myself. There are situations where I'm not so sure, situations where I feel like, that's too deep, situations where I feel like I want to stay in the comfort of my own space. And then there is a nudging, and then there is a draw and the pull, and do I lean into that? Do I follow that nudge and go that step out of the safety of the boat? We have the story of Peter. Peter sees Jesus walking on water, and Peter is bold enough to say, I want to do that too, and he steps out of the boat. Sometimes we think so critically about Peter when later on he starts sinking and asking for help, and Jesus pulls him out of the water. But there is a boldness in him to leave the safety of the boat and to step out in faith. Step out in faith and move forward. That's what he does. And that's amazing, that just taking that risk, moving forward. Don't let fear hold you back. And that is what courage is about. Courage is never the absence of fear. Never. Courage is if you do something in spite of fear, in spite of you being anxious, in spite of you being hesitant or being, it's too much for me. Courage is you do it anyway. Just do it. And facing the fears and moving out, stepping forward. And courage comes actually from core, from the heart, from our heart. Courage, take heart. It's like, take heart. Take your heart in your hands. Whatever you do, move forward. Step out, whether it's in a creative process, whether you're hesitant to connect with someone and are not sure how to approach someone. And sometimes it may even be asking for help. It's not easy to ask for help, my friends. So stepping out and saying, admitting and acknowledging, I think I need help. It's a sign of courage. It's a sign of courage when you ask for help. So in our being drawn in and living creatively, that's what we're invited to do. I love this one poem by Mother Teresa because it is an expression of this courage, of this faith, of stepping out, moving into, even though some things may speak against it, even though you or we may have hesitations. It's called Anyway. People are often unreasonable, irrational, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you're kind, people may accuse you that you're selfish or accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you're successful, you will win some unfaithful friends and some genuine enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years creating, others could destroy overnight. Create anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, others may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today will often be forgotten. Do good anyway. Give the best you have, and it will never be enough. Give your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Do it anyway. No matter what people think, no matter whatever story is going on in their mind, no matter what opposition you may face, doing it anyway is a sign of courage, of stepping out of the safety, of being vulnerable, open, and out there for what you believe and what you think is right, and to do the right thing. And research really backs that up, that grit is what is even more worth than intelligence and knowledge, and you may be the brightest on your IQ, just a way outlier. If you don't have the grit, the stick-to-itiveness, the sticking with it, moving forward, doing that second step, the third step, the fourth step, that's what makes it happen. You can be the brightest person sitting back on the couch and nothing happens, my friends. Stepping out in faith, leaning in, that is what it is about, and that's our gospel reading we just heard about. Jesus and the disciples. And Jesus tells Peter, you know what? Move out into the deeper water and go in deeper. It has several layers there. Go in deeper. Don't be shy. Go in deeper. And then Peter comes and says, he's probably shaking his head. He says, you know what, Jesus? We've been fishing all night. We've been working all night. And it's almost like assumed in what he says, I've been doing this fishing for a while. You don't tell me what to do. I've been around the block a few times. And Jesus says, go in deeper. And Peter says, well, you know what? I know better than that. I'll do it anyway. Do it anyway. And then he moves into the deeper. And then it's this surprising catch. Sometimes I think we're too afraid to go in deeper. We get our toes wet. We do this, we do that. We dance a little bit around it. But do we go in deep enough? Do we go that second, the third, the fourth? Do we lean in and take heart and move into it? That's the invitation for today. And so as for our steps in the creative process, and when we talk about living creatively, it's always a journey of faith and a journey of life and a journey of growing spiritually. The spark, the light, the imagination, the inspiration. Wow, wonderful. We need that. We also need this meditation, the rumination, this kind of mulling it over, like you give a dog a bone and the dog chews on the bone and you chew and you chew and you ruminate to get all the flavor out of it. That's part of the creative process. But then there certainly is that third or next step where it takes step out in faith. Move into it. No matter what there seemed to be opposed to you, that fear, that anxiety, that worry, what do others think? How do I come across? Is this too gutsy or too oppositional to other people? Step out in faith. That's what it takes. Now, boats or ships, when they're built, every ship is always the safest in the harbor. But that's not what ships are built for. Each and every one of us is always safest on our couch in our living room. But that's not what we're created for. What is one courageous thing you will do today and tomorrow and this week? What is one courageous thing you will do?